Welcome to the Waves Business Coaching Podcast, where you can learn how to grow as a leader, inspire your team, and optimize the operations in your organization. I'm your host, Jacob Carnes, and today on the podcast, you're going to learn how to get more done and accomplish more goals. Too often as a business leader, your work gets busy, you let work and personal goals get prioritized because you don't have time. The business just gets really busy. That's just the reality. I want to teach you how you can accomplish more goals and get more done, including personal passion projects that you have, because those are important and those are what's going to leave you feeling more fulfilled at home, in life, and at work. If you want to learn more about how you can get the best out of your organization, be sure to go to wavesbusinesscoaching.com, which is linked in the episode description. We'd love to equip you with the tools and resources to optimize your business and give you peace of mind as a leader. Let's dive in and let's get more done. It's still relatively the new year, which means that I've set new goals for the year. You've probably set new goals for the year, and I want to accomplish those goals. It's still the beginning of the year. I think it's a stereotype that people set New Year's resolutions in January, and by March at the latest, those have kind of fallen by the wayside. But I want to come on here and talk about some of the goals that I want to accomplish, some of the goals that I'm working on, and how I'm going to get those done. Because I know that you have goals as a business leader that you want to accomplish as well. So it's the new year. Here are some things that I want to do this year. In my business, I want to host some more workshops. There's some topics that I love talking about, and workshops are a great way for me to connect with a larger audience. And I want to host more of those in my business this year. I want to coach more business leaders. I want to help more business leaders accomplish their goals. And I have a certain number of one-on-one coaching sessions that I want to hit this year. And then lastly, I want to grow my CRM. I want to get a lot more leads. I want to create more lead magnets so that I can email more people and let them know about my business so that I can get more sales. So those are some business goals that I have this year. Beyond business, though, I have a lot of personal goals I want to accomplish too. I want to prioritize time with my family. I want to go on vacation with my family. I want to work out more. I want to lose weight. We got a bike here at the house, and I want to make sure I'm working out at least 20 minutes every day. Lastly, a passion project that I've had for a few years and something that I wanted to accomplish in my life at some point was I wanted to become an author. I want to have written 3 books by the time that I pass away one day. And last year on my birthday, I decided this is the year I'm going to write my book and finish it. And then in 2024, for this year, I decided I'm not just going to write the book. I'm going to publish the book, and I'm going to get it done this year. It's something that is right behind like my family on prioritization of my goals. It's very, very important to me. The problem is, I'm sure like you've experienced, I know that work is already and is going to get even busier. And when work gets busy, the calendar gets full. When the calendar gets full, certain goals get scratched off the list, and it's maybe next year. Work causes stress on my personal life, as I'm sure it does for yours. And then it ends up that work goals become more important. And even sometimes those don't become important. The main goal becomes surviving instead of thriving. It becomes, how can we stay afloat? How can we make sure we don't close shop at business? How can I make sure my team members are cared for? How can I make sure that we're staying in business and keep making money? This makes me feel like a loser sometimes. When I take off personal goals off my list in place of work goals, or even scratch off work goals that I wanted to accomplish, and by middle of the year, it's, you know what, stuff's changed and we're not doing that. We have to recalibrate. Makes me feel like a loser. Doesn't make me feel good. I deserve the time and structure to accomplish my work goals and personal goals. And you deserve the time and structure to accomplish your work goals and your personal goals. How can you find time to work on your goals, or, for work, prioritize your family? And for me, how can I also make sure I write a book? That's a huge task. Well, I read a book a couple years ago, Here on a Mission by Donald Miller. And before that, my friend Wes Gay, who was actually on the podcast last week, he took me through this course and coached me through it. And it really changed the way that I view my life, and it changed the way I do productivity. It made me more productive. So at the end of Here on a Mission, you get a life plan and a daily planner. And this life plan and daily planner has changed my life. I've used the daily planner every day for the last about 2 years. And it's something that, again, because I'm consistent about it, I am able to accomplish more goals at work and at home. I have found myself structuring my day better, being even more present with my family, accomplishing more at work, and I'm not recalibrating on goals. I'm accomplishing on those goals and moving the yardstick further to accomplish more goals. It's inspirational, yes, but it is also very structured, and it's a productivity hack. It's extremely helpful, not just inspirational. So here's what's in here in a mission that you can do right now to help you accomplish more goals. 3 things. Number 1, create a life plan. So the best storytellers, what they do in a story is they begin at the end. They begin at the climax of the story. So think about Star Wars. They'll start with, hey, we know that Luke at the end of the movie, he's going to blow up the Death Star. So let's start there. Let's work our way backwards so that in Act 1, we're starting to foreshadow stuff that's going to show up later in the movie. The best storytellers reverse engineer the story. They start at the end, they work their way backwards so that in Act 1, you're getting some foreshadow, you're seeing some stakes that's going to lead to stuff at the end of the movie. Our life is the same way. Can we reverse engineer our life? Can we start at the end? Can we start at the climax of our story? Well, the climax of our story is inevitably our death. And so with the life plan, what you do is you actually write a eulogy, which is, I'll be honest, it can be extremely emotional. It's a lot to do. It took me a little bit to write. The bottom line is you write 3 to 5 paragraphs on one page of, hey, at the end of my life, what do I want to have said about me? What is me on a page? And I got to dream a little bit. Again, something I wrote on there was, of course, I talked about being a father and hopefully a grandfather one day. I talked about my business and what I wanted to accomplish in my business and how big I want my business to get and how many people I've helped. Talked about my family, and something I had on there was, I want to be an author. When I die one day, I want to have at least 3 books written that have my name on them that have helped other people grow. So then we reverse engineer the story. You start with your eulogy. That's the climax. How can we reverse engineer so that we're foreshadowing, we're accomplishing stuff along the way? Well, you go one step further back and you say, hey, 10 years from now, what goals do I have? Where do I need to be in 10 years so that I'm at this place at the climax of my story, at the eulogy? So 10 years from now, I figured that, hey, well, probably need to be a dad by 10 years from now, right? If I want to be a granddad at the end of my life. Family, I set goals for. Friends, I set goals for. Health, I set goals for. And then, of course, I thought about my books and I said, okay, if I have to have 3 books by the time I die, well, I want to have 1 published and 1 more written 10 years from now. That'll give me 2 books almost done at that point. You reverse engineer further, 5 years from now. Where do you need to be 5 years from now so that you can be where you set goals for 10 years from now, so that you can be where you set goals for at your climax of your story at the end of your life? Same thing. You're reverse engineering the story. You go backwards 1 more step. Where do you need to be a year from now? This is something I rewrite every year on my birthday is, okay, this next year, what do I need to have accomplished so that I can accomplish my 5-year goals, my 10-year goals, and my life goals that I wrote down on my eulogy? And something I wrote down this year was, you know what? If I'm going to be an author of 3 books, you can't write 3 without writing 1. I am finishing my rough draft this year. No excuses. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done. And I wrote it down, my 1-year goal. That's step 1. You create a life plan. Dream about it. Like, put stuff out there that sounds kind of crazy, especially at the eulogy part. And then reverse engineer it and think about, where do I need to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now in order to get there? The second step is goal setting. So when you're thinking about, the goals that you have written down for your 1, 5, and 10 year from now, pull some of those out. So for me, it was, okay, writing a book. So wrote it out. I'm going to write a book. Milestones. We're going to reverse engineer our goals as well. So if I'm going to have my rough draft done by July of 2024? Where do I need to be in March of 2024? Where do I need to be in January of 2024? Where do I need to be in October of 2023 in order to have my rough draft done? So I figured, okay, by October, I better have a pretty good idea of where the book's going. I better have an outline done. By January, better have a couple chapters written. By March, better have at least 2/3 of the book written. And then by July, book needs to be finished. What's a daily sacrifice that I'm going to make to get the book done? This is something else you write down. So when you think about your goals, you write down dated milestones and what those look like. Then you think about daily sacrifices. What can I sacrifice every day to accomplish this goal? For me, it's just time. It's, hey, before work starts, I'm going to spend 30 minutes every day just sitting down and writing, getting words on the page. A lot of people want to write a book. It really just takes time to get words down on a page. So I knew that I could commit 30 minutes before work starts to sit down and write for 30 minutes. That's my daily sacrifice. You can then track how often are you doing that daily sacrifice? How often are you doing that 30 minutes a day or whatever it is for your goal? Then think about your goal partners. Who is in your life that loves you, cares about you, that you trust, that can help hold you accountable? For me and my project for my book, it's my wife is one. My best friends are some. My mom is one. So I have people in my life and other people I know in business that are aware I'm writing a book, and I've told them my goals and I've asked them to check in and say, hey, how's it going? How much of the book do you have done? It's keeping me accountable because I know people are going to ask about my goal and about my project. So think about the people in your life that love you, that care about you, that you trust, that you can bring in as partners to help you accomplish this goal. Again, with the life plan and with the goal setting, we're reverse engineering and we're setting up structure so that we have milestones set up, people surrounding us to help us accomplish those goals. And it's specific and it's measurable. Step 1, life plan. Step 2, goals. Step 3, and here's the real productivity hack, is the daily planner. Every single, at least work day, so every work day, 5 to 7 days a week at least, for the last year and a half, 2 years, I've used my daily planner from Here on a Mission. The first 3 things I do every day is I read my eulogy, I read my vision, so my 1, 5, 10-year life plan visions, and I read my goals. Why is this important? Why is this a productivity hack? I think about Stephen Covey. Begin with the end in mind. If every day I'm reading that eulogy that's talking about my big life goals that I have, it's not discouraging. It fires me up, gets me excited. It reminds me of where I'm going and where I want to go. When every single day I'm reading where I need to be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now to accomplish those goals, I'm beginning with the end in mind. I'm thinking about them constantly, first thing every day. When I'm reading my goals, when I read that I have to write a book for my birthday this year, when I read that I have to have so many chapters done by March and that's coming up, it's a reminder every single day of where I'm going and that I've got to get there. And it's an encouragement to me and it holds me accountable. So that's the first step that the daily planner is a productivity hack of, is you're beginning with the end in mind. You're reading your life plan, your vision board, your goals every single day. Second part of the daily planner, it really helps me structure my day. Now, obviously at work, stuff comes up, stuff is scheduled at certain times. You can't control that. With the rest of your time, though, the time you can control, when do you do what task? Think about that now. When you are planning out your day, if you even plan out your day, when are you doing what tasks? Here's what I would encourage you to do moving forward. Whatever tasks take the most brain power, whatever tasks require the most energy from you and require your brain, do those first. If there's a task that takes 4 hours, but it doesn't take much out of you, it doesn't take you really time to think, it's kind of just monotonous. It's just, I have to go rake the leaves. That doesn't take me a lot of brain power to do that. It's pretty simple. Just because it takes the longest doesn't mean you should do it first. I went to a thing growing up called SLU, Student Leadership University. They said, swallow the big frog first. I misunderstood it. That does not mean what takes the longest. Whatever's going to take the most out of you, do that task first. So, for example, writing a book for me is taking a lot out of my brain. So, the first 30 minutes of my day, I'm writing because I know that that's going to take the most out of my brain. Because bottom line is, it's science. Calories are energy. Your brain begins the day with so much energy. And as time moves on, that energy is going away. By the time you go to bed, your energy is pretty drained. When you wake up, it's the highest it's going to be for that day. So whatever task is going to take the most brain power out of you, do those first. And obviously keep in mind priority. You know, if a task is due 6 months from now, it doesn't take much of your brain power, but there's a task due tomorrow. Obviously the task is due tomorrow first. But again, when controlling your tasks, whatever's going to take the most out of you, use the most brain power, do those first. When I set up my task manager, I use Monday. I have a column for priority, so high, medium, low, and then I have a column for brain power. Is it high or low brain power? So obviously my tasks that are high priority, high brain power, those always get done first. Control what you can control. Whenever you have control over your time, do the tasks that take the most brain power out of you first. Then do everything else. Once your brain's kind of drained, then you can do those tasks that don't take a lot. Then you can answer those emails. Then you can clear your inbox. Then you can answer some phone calls or reach out to who you need to reach out to. You can go clean the office, go talk to some team members in your organization. But do those tasks that take the most brain power first. 2 more things that are on my daily planner that I think are really important. Number 1, and this is at the beginning of the day. If I were to do this day over again, what would I do differently? So when I answer this question at the beginning of the day, again, I'm beginning with the end in mind. I'm thinking about when it gets to 9 o'clock tonight and I'm going to the bedroom to go to bed because I got to bed early. What am I going to look back on and regret from today? Is it that, you know what? I wasted about an hour today when I could have accomplished one of my most important tasks, or I could have gotten ahead on tasks for the week. I write that down. When I begin the day thinking about what could I possibly regret today and write it down, the odds of me actually doing that dramatically go down. Number 2, what am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for today? I get to think about, hey, life's worth living. Life is fun. There's something that I'm grateful for today. Maybe it's simply, I can't wait to have dinner with my family tonight. Maybe it's, I'm working with a really fun client and I can't wait to go to that meeting. Or honestly, I'm excited to write today. Today's been a good, it's been a good morning. I'm excited to write today. Think about that for you. What are you grateful for today? Gives you a really optimistic perspective on life for the day. And it's a really great way to start off your day. So how can you get more done? How can you accomplish your most important goals? 1, create a life plan, reverse engineer your life. 2, create goals, have goal partners, surround yourself with people who you trust who can help you, create milestones for those goals, set aside time for those goals. 3, daily planner. Your daily planner, you're reading those things that you set. You're prioritizing tasks that take the most out of you. You're thinking about what you're grateful for. You're thinking about the end of the day and thinking about what could I possibly regret today? And you're writing that down so you don't do it. You can use these tools to accomplish more goals and honestly be more fulfilled. I'm not going to let failure happen. My mom used to say, I know I would say I didn't mean to whenever I made a mistake. And she would say, I know you didn't mean to, but you also didn't mean not to. We never mean to deprioritize goals that we set at the beginning of the year. But I want to make sure that we don't mean not to. What I mean by that is go out of your way to create time. And here's how you do it. You say no to distractions. John F. Kennedy, he had a quote that said, things do not happen, they are made to happen. You have the ability to accomplish every goal you want to in 2024. You just have to structure your time, say no to distractions, and build repetition that builds habits. I am writing a book in 2024. I'm going to write between 500 and 1,000 words a day. I take the first 30 minutes before my workday starts to write a book. And I'm saying this on the podcast because now I have public accountability. If you're listening to this, I want you to have the ability to buy my book this year and have it in your hand. I can't wait. I'm not going to make excuses for myself as to why I didn't accomplish one of my most important goals this year. I'll be using the tools and resources that I have to write my book and accomplish every work and family goal that I've set for this year. You can become a hero on a mission, reverse engineer your life, reverse engineer your goals, say no to distractions, and structure your time so that you accomplish more. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of the Waves Business Coaching Podcast. If you want to become a hero on a mission, I've got 3 great options for you. Number 1, you can read the same book that I read. There's a link in the description for you to buy it on Amazon. That is the cheapest option and honestly most efficient way for you to do this. It's an amazing book by Donald Miller, and you can go to everything I did. Make your life plan, make your daily planner, accomplish more goals. Number 2, Hero on a Mission is something that I get to teach as a Business Made Simple certified coach. If you want to schedule one-on-one coaching and have an expert walk you through Hero on a Mission, there's a link in the episode description for you to schedule a call with me. I would love to work with you one-on-one and walk you through Hero on a Mission, something that has seriously changed my life and how productive I am. Number 3, if you're a business owner or a business leader and you've got a team that wants to go through Hero on a Mission, I would love to host a workshop for you. Same link in the episode description. Schedule a call with me, and I would love to work with you and your team and do a half-day workshop with resources, handouts, a dedicated facilitator to walk you and your team through Hero on a Mission. I'd love to do that with you and your team. If you'd like to be notified about my upcoming book, there's also a link in the description for that. I'd love for you to click it, and I'll send updates to you and then send a link when the book is ready to order this year in 2024. For more free tools and resources on how you can grow your organization, be sure to subscribe to this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Organizations struggle to grow because they don't know how to bring the best out of their people. At Waves Business Coaching, we inspire teams and optimize operations so that you and your organization can thrive. If you're a business leader who wants to bring the best out of their team, visit our website at wavesbusinesscoaching.com, which is linked in the episode description. If you want a free plan to optimize your business, take my business report, which is also linked in the episode description. In this free assessment, you'll get a diagnosis and plan to optimize your business. This report from Business Made Simple will do in 10 minutes what most business consultants take weeks to do. Click the link in the episode description to take my business report. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Waves Business Coaching Podcast. Take care.